Hello and welcome back to another Epic 7 video where today we're gonna be talking about an elf's initiation. You know, if I had to pick my favorite unit in the game, it would probably be Chloe. But if I had to pick my favorite unit in terms of gameplay, it would be Kisei. But in terms of story, I think Earth Izeria, or just Izeria in general, is peak of Epic 7. Listen, I understand we have a lot of good characters here and there. I just think Smilegate really did Izeria pretty bad. I think this event should have been playable before episode 1 even starts. Because, frankly speaking, or it should have been put somewhere in episode 1, because in episode 1, when Ross meets Izeria for the very first time, Izeria is very dismissive of him. It's basically like this. Imagine you have a relationship with God, right? And your God says, Jesus will drop and save you. And then for no reason at all, Jesus never comes and you lost your house as a result of it. You see, Izeria, instead of putting in the work herself, which she definitely did, she's an heir, she commands respect, alright? Let's just put it this way, Jesus never came and as a result, she blamed it all on Jesus. Had God never said, hey, I'm dropping Jesus, then, she would have relied on herself more often, or at least that's the impression I get about her character, because as Ross works with Izeria, she eventually opens up to him and understands that she's foolish. You know, she blamed her losses on Ross. But the thing that I love about this event, and Elf's initiation, is that it's so real. Like, unlike the new recent events where they show you nothing about the character, namely Huayang event, you know? In Huayang event, they established that Pyrrha crippled Huayang. But why? Elaborate, please. They did nothing with Huayang's character. Zahak event, they did nothing with him. Ron event, I understand Ron event is about visiting Ross and checking on Vildred stuff and all that shenanigans, but Ron event is also a nothing burger. What other event was there? I guess Arya event had some backstory on how she became the character she is, but in my opinion, Arya from the story is very disconnected from Arya in the event. And the same thing is happening with Izeria in this event. I think they wrote this side story before episode 1. Or, my bad, after episode 1. You know why? Because in episode 1, we never see Sirmia. Why is Izeria so good with Sirmia? As a matter of fact, you only see Sirmia, in terms of main story, of course, you only see Sirmia in episode 2. So, how are Izeria and Sirmia friends? Well, this event shows you how they started their friendship. I really like how after the acolyte Nilgal just attacked the Forest of Elves, Izeria took her band of elves and ran away. Okay, she could not live with the shame and regret of basically failing her duties, and now her guardian, Zayon, is not responding to her. Which, you know, where was that in main story? I had no idea Izeria went through all this. Instead, no, for 4 chapters in a row, she's like, I hate the heir of the Covenant. He never came when he was supposed to come. And I feel like that's trivializing her character. Can you believe there are people who actually dislike Izeria because of that? Because, you know, God forbid anyone hates the main character. They think Ross is a self-insert when he really isn't. He really isn't. And by episode 2, people disconnect themselves from Ross because it becomes apparent, oh, Ross is not a self-insert. And then, surprise, surprise, they hate Izeria for some reason. Let's ignore the fact she appears in Lord of Summer and all those other events with good personality and all that stuff. But point is, we're going back to her story. So, Izeria used to be this shy, meek girl, and her best friend became the chief in the Forest of Elves. And, to put it simply, after she became an heir, which is never elaborated, by the way. Why did Izeria become an heir? I have no idea. Why is she an oath keeper? We have no idea. We don't even know what an oath is. We don't even know what an oath serves. All we know is Destina S1 and Ruel S1 is them shooting an oath. So, you know, I actually made a video about it. Izeria is literally in the thumbnail. What is an oath? Go check that out, because I have no answers. If you know what an oath is, do tell me. So yeah, She picks up the injured elves that basically lost their homes, and she leaves the Forest of Elves. And she comes into Azira, where she basically works with Cartuja and shows him to these ruins so they can loot treasure. And then it turns out she got scammed, and those treasures were actually owned by someone, and yeah, Iseria went to prison. Hell yeah, brother. So after she went to prison, Charles comes in and he's like, hey, aren't you an heir? Aren't you the Knight of Flowers? Aren't you this, you know? Iseria Aristotle. And Iseria basically gets given a trade offer by Charles. Work for the Conclave and I'll give you some land. 10 out of 10 recruitment. So what Iseria did is she used the land for her band of elves, and then she enters a tournament. In this tournament, she 1v1s Crozet, wins. She was supposed to 1v1 Sirmia, but she never does because Sirmia is doing something else. Iseria wins, and then she 1v1s Charles. She doesn't win against Charles. I mean, technically speaking, Charles holds back, which is why Iseria wins. But in all honesty, I think if Charles were to go all out, maybe Charles wins. I'm very grey on this subject matter, but point is, Charles held back and Iseria basically showed what she's capable of. And people started cheering. They accept Iseria as the second in command. Because, let's be honest here, imagine your military just suddenly drafts an elf and you know nothing about this elf, you know? A matter of fact, she's a refugee despite the fact she's an heir, which doesn't make sense. Heirs are supposed to be the strongest people in this world, but hey, I digress. So, where does the story go from there? Well, you start seeing how Iseria and Sirmia meet, and I think it's a really good start to the friendship. I think if they showed Sirmia in main story, maybe Iseria's character could have redeemed a little. Maybe Sirmia could have told Ross, yo, while you were asleep, this happened to Iseria. Or you could have seen Iseria be cold-faced with Ross, but as soon as she's with Sirmia, she starts getting all, you know, playful, starts talking. But no, that's never shown. That's just main story. I swear, nothing good comes from main story. But hey, Iseria's character, I think, is pretty top tier. I know I'm being very vague about this. I apologize, but that's intentional because, frankly speaking, I'd rather you, yes, you, read the story. I mean, don't want a man spoiling it for you. All I'm saying is this is my favorite event. In comparison to other events, I understand. This event is only, 4 cutscenes? Which, majority of the events are 4 cutscenes. It doesn't offer much in terms of rewards like Game of Princes or any other large major event. But I think, yeah, this story is the most realistic. It actually sets world-building elements that make you sympathize with the characters. You know, in episode 1, or at least in the early events, especially Iseria's event, the Archdemon is kind of a big deal, you know, the Archdemon forces, the monsters that attack people's villages, you know, Iseria, of all people, being a refugee? Yeah, I think that's realistic. But the later events, if a monster, or if a horde of goblins attacks your home, it's like, oh, it's the 100th horde of goblin, hee hee ha ha, let me kill them and then sell their hide on the market and make some money that way. It's like, you know, they're not scared, or even if they're not scared, it's just the writers seem desensitized, or maybe they changed the writers, I don't know. But Iseria event, 10 out of 10. If you did not read it now. It's available from the very beginning. Mini rant, by the way. Back in the days, this event, you could just read it you could read it at any time, and now for some reason you have to clear it, change to another side story, then you can read it in your journal. Can we revert that, please? You know, I don't have 2 weeks to clear every damn side story just to collect clips. Come on. It used to be available before. Just make it available now. Why are you taking away features from us, Smilegate? Anyways, thank you for watching. See you next time. No RTA actually made me somewhat sane. Goodbye.